how does it come that stories like this stay in the memory for so long? I mean, everything is now about content creation. Even I'm doing it all the time. But most of the content we are creating is very fast consumed. You watch it today, you forget about it tomorrow maybe. And if you're lucky, and at least this is my intention, some bits of it will stick to you and get you through the day, or get you inspired or motivated in whatever you're doing. And some stories, they stick longer. So I'm just wondering, what can we learn from these kind of stories? How can we make content, and how can I make content that offers more value than just being watched or being consumed one time? This is Marketing Mondays. My name is Sven Oyntzen, and I'm going to tell you the story about these 4 characters who tried to form a rock band here in Germany, in Bremen, but they actually never did. I was driving quite a bit yesterday from Sweden back through Denmark. And now in Germany, here it is, we're going to Bremen. This is gonna be strange Marketing Mondays. It is really raining quite heavily outside, and maybe you can hear it also here in this video. That's why I tell the story about the Bremer Stadtmusikanten here. For me, the story is like this. There was this old, used up donkey who couldn't perform in his work anymore. So he got this crazy idea, well, I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to be a musician in Bremen. So he left the farm and he went out there. And while he was walking, he met a dog, a cat and a cock. And they were all a bit like him, soulmates actually. They were old, used up, they couldn't perform their daily tasks anymore. So they joined up with him and said, well, we're going to form a band and we're going to get out there and we gotta rock. They continued their trip to Bremen. While they were walking there, it became night, they would get tired and it was dark, so they went to sleep. And far in the distance, they could see a little light. Maybe there's food there and shelter, so let's go there. They looked through the window and they saw, wow, they are like burglars living in this house. Burglars living in this house? That's what the story says. Let's stand on top of each other, went through the window, made this sound, and the burglars, they got frightened so much, they left the building and they just ran off. Well, the donkey, the dog, the cat and the cock, they went inside, they took the food that was there and they went to sleep. Later at night, the burglars, who thought it was a monster actually, they sent someone back to check the situation. So one guy comes back, he went inside, and walking inside, he woke the cat. The cat got frightened and scratched the burglar in his face. The burglar stepped back and he put a foot on the tail of the dog, woke up, got frightened and bit the burglar in the leg. The burglar tumbled again and the donkey woke up and the donkey kicked the burglar right in the stomach. Finally the cock woke up and he saw it all and he just made this screaming noise like a cock can do. Let's do this again. That's what it sounded. Much better. You can imagine the burglar, frightened and hurt. He ran off back to his mates. He said, there's a witch living there with claws that scratched me in the face. And she got knives which she stabbed in my back. And she kicked me right in the stomach. And while doing that, she made this awful screaming noise. And can you imagine, thinking there's actually a witch living there, they never went back to the house. This is the story the Brothers Grimm are telling us. And it makes sense that this story is going to stick, because there's like this misfortune happening to the animals and they went out on an adventure and then they got in this crazy situation with the burglars. So they had to fix that situation and finally they prevailed, they survived and they had a happy ending living in that house. So maybe in the end the animals formed like a rock band and they kicked ass actually, which they literally did, I guess. And that is the fun of this story. When you imagine it, when you visualize it in your head, you see these things happening, you get empathy with what's going on. You feel in the beginning a bit sad about the animals because they're old and they cannot perform their work anymore and they had to leave their home. And later on they think, wow, they're going on an adventure, what will happen, what's going on, what's next? And you hope they will prevail. And then they come up with this clever idea, standing on top of each other and making these crazy noises. You think, wow, this is unseen, this is surprising, this is what I've never heard of actually. And finally, they had a happy ending living in that house. They pulled through, they managed it, and they succeeded. They got the reward, they had the house. And this makes a story great, I think. Everything that is necessary to tell a good story that sticks is in that story. And what makes this story maybe more special than others is that the Grimm brothers attached the story to a city, to a real place, which made it possible for the people living in the city to remember the story. They actually feel that the story is part of their heritage somehow. Even though it's a made-up story and everybody knows it, but that doesn't matter. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it's a children's story, of course. So it passes on generation after generation after generation. And that is key why this story sticks for so long. This is excellent content creation. I think the Grimm brothers probably never thought of all the spin-off and all the things happening with the story later on, but it happened because of all these things. And of course, people were able to adding things to the story, of course, and commercializing the story, using the story to their benefit. There's a lot going on and a lot is commercialized, of course, but the core of the story and the adaptation of the story by the people made the story stick for so long. So this is what makes this an excellent example, for me at least, for content creation that sticks longer than watching a one-time video show. This was Marketing Mondays. I hope you got inspired by the story of the Bremer Stadsmusikanten and these 4 crazy guys who tried to form a rock band, which actually they never did in the end, but they lived happily ever after. Let's see what we can learn from that for our content creation in the future.